Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author Matt Adams.
And we are delighted to welcome you to the PXG Custom Studios. Once again this week, the PXG Custom Studios are defined by the Emerald Isle. Welcome. We have worked our way into the Republic of Ireland. We're in Donegal, which is this incredibly beautiful, rugged part of Ireland. This is part of Ireland that almost seems as though God himself reached down and ripped out a piece of the divide between land and sea. And so it forms this magnificent union, by and large, for our purposes at least, defined by links golf. And the links golf courses that we're going to show you in today's show are absolutely spectacular. For us, it all started back in Northern Ireland, where just as we were ending our last show, we were about to play Royal Portrush, and Royal Portrush, in preparation for the Open this year, quite simply was spectacular. There's a buzz, as you can imagine, rightfully so, right? That was everywhere that you went from everybody. Everyone is so excited. There was a build-out going on of the grandstands, and there's nothing like, if you've had an opportunity to do it, folks, to play a golf course that's about to host an event of that stature, because the comments that I heard from most of the people on our trip, which was really cool, was it's going to change the way that they view the Open when they get a chance to watch it in July, because they're going to remember what that swale was like over there, or a green complex over here, or how spectacular their view was in another place. It took me back, for me personally, to 2019. I was doing and I will be this year, which I'm very excited about, doing the world radio feed. So you're on the ground. And in 2019, in the final round, Shane and Tommy were behind us. I was assigned to Brooks Koepka and JB Holmes. I was the group in front. And I said to Steve Tebbs, my producer, hey, do you mind if I hang back here so I can watch Shane finish? So the video that you're watching right now was taken from my phone when I was standing facing the green on the left side in the rough. And you remember how they always pull the rope across at the Open and allow the people to come out? Well, you can see here, it looks like something that was almost out of the Game of Thrones, which is ironically shot right off this coastline, where the rope comes in, and then from all that emerges Shane Lowry on his march to glory in winning the Open at Royal Portrush in 2019. First time it had been back there in decades, and coming back again in 2025. Royal Portrush is one of the game's great cathedrals, and it proved itself in 2019. It's going to prove itself, no doubt, again, as a venue that, if you get a chance to play it, if it's a bucket list for you, it's a place that's right out in front of you. There's nothing tricked up about it. What you get from the golf course you have earned, and what you get from the golf course that may be of a negative side, you also deserve that too, because if it didn't work out for you, that was a decision that you made that didn't pay off. But if you play your best golf and you make the smart shot, you can play very, very well there as well. I think Dom on his back nine at Royal Portrush shot a 38, for example, for a guy that carries an 7-8 handicap. So that was pretty exciting too. So it was really, really cool, really, really fun, and we're super excited about this week's show with you. We're going to take you to these wonderful places, as I mentioned, here in Donegal, and working our way through the northwest of Ireland. Today, for us, it's Ballyliffin. Ballyliffin is a championship links course. They hosted the Irish Open back in 2018, and every time I bring somebody to Ballyliffin, they come away with it going, you know what, that might have been my favorite links experience that we had, and with good reason. So from there, with visiting old friends, John Farron is the general manager here at Ballyliffin. We wanted to get some perspective of what this place is. How is it different from any other links golf experience, and how you guys can experience it? John, there's places to go that kind of feel like, even if the golf course was built in relatively recent times, say in the last century or century and a half in some cases, kind of feels like they've always been a golf course.
Yeah, that's true of Ballyliffin, certainly, Matt. It very much settles into the natural environment here. You see, surrounded by hills and Pollen Bay and the Atlantic Ocean in the background. So we do feel that we're part of the natural environment.
It's so varied here. In some ways, it's almost like a Links menu, and you choose what particular flavor you want to devour on that day. How is it that on this dunescape that we're on, that you've been able to offer such variety?
Yeah, I suppose using the dunescape has been a key to that, Matt. The old Links settles very much on the lower ground, so it's an easier walk, an easier track, whereas Glashiri goes up onto the tops of the dunes and you're fully exposed to the light breezes we get here, so you get the wide variety, and there's a bit of climbing in Glashiri, so it's ups and downs, a lot of downhill par 3s, a lot of long par 4s, and some spectacular par 5s, so variety is key to keeping the golfer interested, and we think we have everything here.
In 2018, you hosted the best players in the world. You had the Irish Open here. What did that do for the golf course? Was it, in some ways, I suppose, a validation of just how wonderful this place is?
It certainly was. It was a massive achievement for the club to bring the European Tour, the Dubai duty-free Irish Open here in 2018. It certainly broke a glass ceiling for this part of the world, not just Ballyliffin. It shone a light on an area that has been long forgotten, and certainly it has opened the doors for a lot of visitor interest from far and wide, and that's good for everyone, good for the entire county of Donegal, but good for the entire region of the north and west coast.
How would you describe Ballyliffin in terms of being different than any other Links golf experience?
Yeah, I suppose the key to Ballyliffin is, if you're coming to Ballyliffin, that's the only place you're going to. We are not central to very much, but that's true of most Links courses. So I suppose it's a destination as opposed to somewhere you pass by. And golfers that know what Links golf is all about know where Ballyliffin is. And I suppose what sets it apart is it's a member-owned club, and the members are very proud of what they have here. And that sentiment, that feeling, that pride is very evident to visitors who meet members as they play the courses, or maybe their caddies are members also. And that hospitality is unique to Ballyliffin, I believe.
So we're on the 5th tee here at Ballyliffin, and much like we were talking about earlier in the program, this piece of land is so exceptional. The fact that it can create multiple Links golf courses that have their own distinct character. This course is, as you already know, of championship caliber because it's hosted the Irish Open. But I think the thing that you have to stop and do when you're on this property is just pause and look at how stunning it is. It is so gorgeous, it can almost distract you from the golf itself. But then when you see the golf, world-class Links golf. This is a modern engineered Links golf course set into an environment that very much looks like the Links weren't actually designed, they just were revealed, and it's all around you. It is one of the most special experiences that you can have playing Links golf anywhere in the world. And the beauty of it is that when you're here, your focus is right here. For all that it offers, your focus is right here, because this part of Donegal, which I love this part of Ireland because it is so remote, it is so rugged, it is so authentic, will provide you with opportunities like this. So we have made our way to Donegal Golf Club, Merva. It is such a special place, as you can probably see behind us, and we're joined by two special people. Eamon O'Connor is to my far left, and John McBride is sitting here in the middle. And gentlemen, to be here again under this glorious sunshine is such a pleasure. Eamon, if I could start with you. If you're talking to the world about who this golf course is, what would that message be?
What this is a natural golf course. It's a natural dune system course, and about 300 yards up there we have a strand about more than a mile long. So we're on a peninsula as well. In actual fact, it's a finger of dune systems just in the middle of the sea. So we're surrounded by water. But the natural element to this here, do you understand me? The fairways are not just immaculate, dead level and that. They're humps and bumps of all descriptions along the way. And that's the natural beauty of the place itself. And you can see what's behind us and around some of the greens. Look at there, just in front of us, you have 3 foot of marram grass growing, just, 5 yards from the clubhouse. So, peace and tranquility, that's what it's all about.
Especially if you can keep it in the fairway, there's no doubt. Congratulations with what you have accomplished, and thank you very much for the hospitality, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So we've made our way to Donegal Golf Club, Merva, and this place, with its stunning views, its majestic dunes, these vistas that you can see to the end of the earth, and the holes of which they are all brilliant. And it's, 75 degrees and sunny, and throughout it all, we have the heartbeat rhythm of the sea from the Merva Beach pounding against these links. Absolutely beautiful, an absolute must on anyone's list.
Head down, water down the left, bunker down the right, take the club straight back.
Wandering minds. When golfers lose their focus, they're totally... But Bridgestone can help. Introducing Mindset. The ball scientifically designed to keep you focused. First, identify your target. Next, visualize your shot path.
And then focus on the green dot and smooth one.
Play the Tour B and E12 with Mindset technology. See what happens when we work together? Stuff like that.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
Innovation has been at the heart of every Super Stroke grip we've ever created, cementing our status as the #1 putting grip on tour. Now the best just got better. Introducing Super Stroke Synergy, our most advanced putting grips ever, for unmatched confidence to quiet your hands and your mind. Find the perfect grip for your game at superstrokeusa.com.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
Welcome back to the Fairways of Life show as we continue our tour through Ireland. We're in the northwest of Ireland this week, and I'm with Paul Eales once again. If you remember, Ealesy was with us last week talking about shots that you want to play on links golf courses. This man played in 8 Opens. He's a winner on what was then called the European Tour. He won on the Legends Tour. He won on the Challenge. He won every level that he has played at. So last week, Ealesy, we were talking a lot about these kind of almost dead-handed little shots. Maybe it was an 8-iron that you only wanted to go 130 yards because you were working it with the wind, or against the wind, as it were, as you were explaining to us. We thought maybe this week it would be fun to have you teach us a little bit more about the short game and the challenges that you face in links golf in that regard.
Absolutely, madam. And the great thing about the environment on links golf, it gives you so much optionality that you probably wouldn't have on, say, a parkland course where it was lush and soft. You've got to use the ground here, use the environment. The wind's blowing, normally coming sideways, downwind. You've got to take all that into effect, as you do with the lie, which is normally really tight. So it's not that easy to get the club underneath the ball to get the loft. But we're just going to show you a few things here. We've got a sand wedge, 56, a putter, an 8-iron, and a little 3-wood. All of these would be appropriate to play this little shot here, some 15 yards. And the technique pretty much stays the same, so it can be quite easy. So rather than just the lob wedge, pop it up in the air. So we'll go through and go and show you a few. So we've got the 56 here, the most lofted club. So it's a pretty standard address position, pretty central, weight slightly forward, but the key here is to keep the width in the backswing so that the club doesn't get too steep. We don't really want too much interaction with the ground other than width. And pop it forward, and there's a little bit of run out there. Maybe heard there that I caught the ground first before I hit the ball, but that's okay if you're nice and shallow. If you get it steep and catch the ground first, the leading edge digs in, the golf ball will finish here. So we'll move to a straighter face club here. The action's still going to be the same. We won't have to hit it as hard, and the ball won't fly as far to target. It'll come in a little bit lower and we'll have more run. Again, I caught the ground, but it's getting myself there onto the putting surface. The ones I find more tricky with a hybrid or a 3-wood, the faces are a little bit hotter, but again, the same action. Keep it nice and shallow, and it's just like a little putt. Runs along the ground. The reason we keep it on the ground, there's nothing to go over. The ground's firm, and then of course, the one that I would say is the key thing. Anytime you can get a putter in your hand around links golf, there's nothing to be frightened of, is you just get the putter out and just hit it a little bit harder and up to the target. So pretty much the same action, Matt, with 4 different clubs, and the results are pretty similar.
All right, so much of the attention about the nuance of shots that are needed in links golf will be focused on, of course, the Open. And so, Ilse, I got something special for you now. I thought, Paul, since you played in so many Opens and you're part of the Open broadcast crew, that you could kind of help us in figuring out how to hit some shots that players will face at the Open, and what can you do if, or even just to understand what they're going through, or what you could do if you're playing links golf to hit out of the lies. And I thought I was pretty generous with the 3 lies that I gave you, don't you think?
No, you weren't, Matt. So, okay, so we've got 3 different situations. Obviously, these balls are all within sort of 6 feet of each other, but it can show the differing in lie. This one actually isn't too bad because I'm playing this way and I can hit the back of the ball. Can you see how it's nice and clean at the back of the ball? So if I can get the club coming in a little steeply, I can hit the ball without having to take too much grass and having to be too vicious with the swing. So the shot's around about 30 paces. I can get to the back of the ball, but I need to come a little bit steeper. The ball's going to come out lower, but we should be able to get this ball on the green. And there it goes, comes out running, but at least we got it, we recovered back onto the green. Now this one is a different scenario altogether. The ball's a little bit deeper, but you can see all this grass I'm going to have to go through to get to the back of the ball. This is going to need a lot of speed, but don't forget, you also have the option of declaring this unplayable because this may not come out. Let's have a go, but I'm going to need a lot of speed, and remember, I'm going to have to enter through this grass. So if this ball comes out here, we actually may have done quite well, but this is going to need a bit of force. You can see, goes through the grass, the ball doesn't move. And you'll see this an awful lot with even the best players in the world, with all the speed they've got. There's so much grass for the club to go through, the ball hardly moves. So that's the option, take a penalty. This one, again, similar to the first one, but there's still some grass here. So we need speed to get to the back of the ball, but because it's steep, it's coming out low. So again, it's not a shot that you're going to try and balloon in the air and land softly. You've got to allow for the run, but I'm going to have to hit this harder, again, because I've got the grass to grow through. It's out, but it's across the green in the other side of the bunker. So 3 different lies, all within 6 feet, all with a different outcome, and it's the lie that dictates it. So it's really important to have a look at how it is and weigh up your options before you have a swing. So Maddie, we've made our way to the green side bunker. You can see typical links, the revetting. That's the sods laid on top of each other to create the wall. Fortunately here, the ball's finished in the center of the bunker. It's a nice lie. So again, no need to complicate things here. The sand's nice and soft. So using the sole of your club face, don't be trying to dig the ball out. Keep it shallow, take the sand beforehand. Maybe wade a little bit further forward. Hands I like a little bit lower to keep the arc a little shallower. Again, this takes loft off the club. We want to keep loft on the club by being nice and shallow. And don't be frightened of big full swing. And let the ball just explode out. And of course you get a face full of sand because it's in, so we call that the shampoo shot, where you get sand in your hair, but it's good for exfoliation.
All right, so now we've made our way to the putting surface. Fescue grass is different than many of the strains that people are used to playing. It's very typical of links golf on this side of the pond. What considerations should we make there?
Well, the first thing to understand is when you're playing links golf, you're exposed to the elements, you've got the wind, the greens are never really as fast as they may be at home. Maximum they would have them, say, for an Open Championship would be 10.5. They could bring that down to 9.5 if the forecast 40, 50 mile an hour winds with the slopes and stuff. So be aware that that's the situation. When you're hitting the ball harder with the putter, it's going to go straighter. So the breaks aren't as great. So here we're a little bit up the slope, into a bit of breeze, a little bit of break from right to left, but the pace is, even if you're putting on a quicker green, pace is key. But when you come and play links golf, be aware that they may be a little bit slower. Doesn't mean to say that they're not good greens. So it's just a full stroke, and that rolls nicely. And again, it didn't really break, so I missed the break by half a cup or a cup outside the right. So again, the critical thing here, as with putting, is pace is so important if you're going to get a good score.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
At PXG, we believe you get more out of your golf clubs when you're custom fitted. This ensures that every PXG club in your bag is completely dialed in to deliver maximum performance for your swing. Golfers of every skill level should go through this process, and PXG's judgment-free fittings will make sure you're completely comfortable and satisfied. Book your fitting and see what we can do for your game. PXG, you've never played like this before, period.
Innovation has been at the heart of every Super Stroke grip we've ever created, cementing our status as the #1 putting grip on tour. Now the best just got better. Introducing Super Stroke Synergy, our most advanced putting grips ever, for unmatched confidence to quiet your hands and your mind. Find the perfect grip for your game at superstrokeusa.com.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. You know, Hub's Peanuts has been cooking up the top 1% of peanuts for over 70 years. And these aren't your average nut. These are super extra large Virginia peanuts cooked in the USA. Family-owned Hub's Peanuts have more protein than any other nuts. So whether it's a boost on the course or a special gift, the variety of flavors guarantees Hub's Peanuts is just what you need. Family-owned, nutritious, delicious, and sustainable. Hub's Peanuts, it's just right. HubsPeanuts.com.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
Welcome back to the Fairways of Life show as we continue our tour through Ireland, the PXG Custom Studios. And I mean, is this scene custom made? I always wonder, are these the places that you go when you find your moments of serenity, you know, in your mind? A beach like this here in Donegal? You know, we're not far up the coastline in Antrim outside of Belfast where they built the Titanic. These icy waters were the last to lick her hull before she headed on her fateful journey to North America. The Irish like to say, don't blame us. She was fine when she left here. So we have found ourselves at the Sandhouse, which is this classic old hotel. You can see it up there above the rocks. The tide is actually coming in. That's why you can see the sea coming in earnest here. And it will keep coming in heavier and heavier, and it will cover half of those rocks. And it won't be that long from now because the tides come in so quickly. But this hotel reminds me of the old school resort hotels that used to dot the East Coast, say, you know, like Jersey Shore, down through the Carolinas. And so it's a really cool experience. Like I said, it's really old school. And it's been a perfect place for our trip, for all of us, I guess, throughout all of the great golf that we played, which included Donegal yesterday, to kind of catch our breath. And coming up in this segment, we've got some really cool stuff coming up for you, because remember, we keep talking about the cultural side of Ireland and we want you guys to experience that too. That's exactly what's in store for you over the next few moments.
It's old world. It's relaxed. All of our staff are local. They're all from a sort of 10-mile radius, and they're all trained very much not to take themselves too serious. No one's ever given out to for sitting talking to customers or having the crack. It's good fun. You know, we like to have a nice atmosphere, and there's plenty what we would call slagging and joking and good crack.
The feeling when you're here, you use the word old world. It feels like a glorious step back in time. I mean, I think everyone that's here has a connection somewhere in their own life's experience.
Yeah, I think so. Funny, just at breakfast there a few minutes ago, I was talking to a couple who are here on their honeymoon, and they've been here several times, and they said just what you're talking about, that it's a really special place to them. She came here with her mother and loves the real tea in the teacups, she said, and the antique furniture in the bedrooms and that style. And her parting comment was, please don't change anything.
Any intentions to change anything?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just bring more American visitors here.
So I think what's so important about a trip to Ireland, not only seeing the greatest golf courses in the world, and for us defined by brilliant links golf courses, it's also about taking in the culture and taking in things that are absolutely incredible. These are the Slieve League cliffs. Now, the Irish word for sleeve, that means mountain, or if you would, a seaside cliff, and league refers to the flat rocks, almost the building, these stones that this whole incredible place is built on. These are the largest accessible cliffs in Europe. I'm sure many of you have been to, say, the Cliffs of Moher outside of Lahinch, Ireland. These are 3 times the height of that, nearly 2,000 feet above the sea. Absolutely stunning. And when I see this, my mind goes to a place where I say, here, you're staring directly into the eyes of eternity. The first signs of life around these cliffs are nearly 3,000 years BC. Think about that for a second. Kieran Mulhern is down here patiently waiting for me, and he was part of the vision of building the visitor center where we started here so that more people could come here and take this in and enjoy it. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I hope you're not too cold out here. He wouldn't be in this woolen jacket.
Well used to it. Great to have you.
It's a pleasure.
And it's great to have your group here. They seem to be enjoying themselves.
They are, yeah.
Out in the wilds in Donegal. So we're on the Wild Atlantic Way, and as you just pointed out, this is the wonderful Slieve League Cliffs, 600 meters. And believe it or not, that's 3 times higher than the Cliffs of Moher, which everybody knows are further south. And then over there, next destination is the USA. I think you can almost see the Jersey Shore from here.
I think so, on a clear day, which we got a pretty good one.
Yeah.
What's the reaction from people when they see this?
I think people hear about it more so when they come to the northwest area and coming into Donegal, and when you check into a hotel, the first thing you're told, you got to go and see the cliffs. So they come out. I think it's one of those things you don't realize how extraordinary and phenomenal they are until you come here and experience it. People talk about it's breathtaking, it's a phenomenon, and it's just peaceful, and you feel really at ease here, And I think people also appreciate that it's popular, but there's never too many people here, so you get to enjoy it, and you don't feel like a tourist, You feel more like just a visitor for the day.
It's surprisingly emotional too, isn't it?
I agree, yeah. You mentioned that earlier, and I totally agree. I feel the same. Whenever I come here, it's a great way to get out of work for the day and just relax, because it really gives you that feeling of being at ease and emotional.
And you and your family had the vision to say that this is a place where we need to bring people to, because if nothing else, it makes us all realize that our life is a grain of sand. You might as well enjoy the ride.
Absolutely. We came in here before the pandemic. There was a gentleman had a premises before, and we bought that business from him, and then we just developed it from there because the demand was increasing coming into the area. We have our cafe there and our store, and we take the groups up, and we have our local guide, Ewan, who you met already, who's a musician, great guy. He knows everything about the area, loves to play a song or two. You'll see him in the pubs at nighttime, and then you'll see him up here during the day.
And I understand in just a little while we're going to see your dad weave for us.
That's right, yeah. Dennis Mulhern's my dad. We're going to go to Triona. He's a 5th-generation weaver, and he also likes to tell a story or two. So you're going to see him in action pretty soon.
Stories in song and incredibly inspiring places that give you a perspective on life itself. That's all part of a sojourn through Ireland. Thank you, my friend.
Great to have you, Matt.
Dennis Mulhern is working at the loo right now. Could you tell us what you're doing here?
This is what we call hand weaving. Hand weaving, making our cloth for ladies' garments and men's garments of high end. It's part of our heritage here for the past 100 and odd years, So hand weaving started with narrow looms, and then they went to wide looms, and
which is classed as more modern today than it was in the days. So it was a way of life that time. If you could weave in it, going back in the 60s and 50s and 40s, you were classed as well off because you had an income coming all the time, if you know what I mean. And everybody, you do the warping. The warping is done there, the colours, that's my job. I do all the colouring here to work out the designs and that.
And how old is this loom itself?
This loom is about 150.
150 years
old? Going back in the ages.
Yeah.
There used to be smokers and they just lit a cigarette. They just lit a cigarette sitting there, see the way black and...
Wow.
That's their class is solid oak, but it's all dark in there, and you're the same over there. See?
How complicated is it, Dennis, to keep these repaired and making sure that you
they're not too bad. They get a couple of years out of maybe them cords are hard wearing. They're like somebody using fishing nets, like, you know, and maybe these are all for adjusting. They're what you want to. Different weavers have different lengths of cords, like, you know, and this here slips up and down, and you could shorten it or lengthen it whatever way the weaver wants to be.
Good to see you.
Matty, great to meet you, man.
How are you? Tell the world where we are.
Well, you're very welcome to the Ardara Distillery. So we're here in beautiful southwest Donegal. Glorious day as well.
It has been. Yeah, it has been. You had a chance to, or will have a chance, I should say, to speak to our group in just a little bit. We're super excited about it because they're going to get to learn about not only your whiskey, but also your gin. If you could kind of encapsulate it for us, what will we be hearing?
Our story is one of homecoming, essentially. My parents left here in the 1960s. I grew up in England, and we've come back to create opportunity. Distilleries are wonderful businesses for creating employment and sharing a place. They have a sense of place about them, which is really quite magical. And so we've brought back something that's specifically Donegal, the illicit distilling capital of Ireland. Celebrate Donegal, you know, they celebrate the people, the culture, this magical place. We look for, specifically, I love smoky whiskies, but we love soft drinking whiskies. That's what we're looking at. It's a beautiful place, and we're inspired by all of that that's around us, the coast, the mountains. Everything you see here is inspiring. And we're, well, I'm contrarian. So I take a contrary view of it. So Irish whiskey, which is sweet and smooth and easy, we're taking an approach that's much more smoky, rich, and challenging. So we'll take the guys through that a little bit later and see how they like that. And then from a gin world, the gin world has gone very sweet and frivolous, and we've gone to something super technical, proper martini gin. You know, so if you're into cocktails, we make an amazing martini, fantastic Negronis, things like that. So hopefully we'll take the guys through that, and maybe they'll like some of it.
So when you have different types of whiskey, I'm going to ask you to describe in a second, if I may, James. You have different types of whiskey. Can whiskey, in its essence, manifest a place, a time, a memory, an emotion?
Well, it does for me. I think all drinks can kind of do that, but whiskey has a more profound sense of place than anything. And I think if you can make a sense of place and then time, if you can put time on it, you can create a memory, a moment, and a memory that's so profound that you can smell it. You can see the people that are there, you can hear the sounds, you can smell it. And when you can do that, you can create flavors that evoke that. And if they're rich for me, hopefully they're rich for somebody else.
Almost like the emotions you get when you listen to a song that takes you back to a time and place?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can create a moment that for some will be emotional. And when you do it, you should get sort of buttered popcorn, sort of fresh green apples, a little bit of orange and ginger. But you won't get any smoke at this stage. So
It's there
if you're looking for it. And then when you put it on your tongue, the warmth of your tongue will bring it alive. You get sort of more like baked apples with that apple pie with brown sugar on the top of it. The memory we use for this one, if you can imagine a 10-year-old me, okay, 10 years old, I was a little bit smaller. Certainly, I wasn't round like this. I didn't have a beard, but I used to steal my grandfather's pipe. And I used to run around the house like I was the man of the house. And I wanted to recreate that moment. Look, I can get goosebumps thinking about it. But so the flavors are the flavors of my grandfather's pipe in the morning. So when you do that smell of it now, you get that sweetness. So it's like baked apples and tobacco. So for me, it's like that rolled tobacco you put in a pipe, yeah? So So it's got a salted caramel-like sweetness. You were talking chocolate earlier. You get like creamy chocolate. And if you do the same thing, the smoke is more obvious. No. These are all an introduction to smoke. So it's about, the smoke is on the outside now. You get that dry, kind of ashy flavors of my granddad's pipe. That's what it's all about. It's just a nostalgia kick. The whole thing, I mean, there could be a business in it, but we don't know. So I'm going to try the third one.
That's a blended drink?
So this
blended?
They're blended, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's got gin in it too. So
That's a new drink.
yeah. Oh, sorry. There we go. Thank you, my dear. So, and again, we were talking. So whilst Aoife's pouring this for us, thank you, Aoife. This one is now the Midnight Silky, and so we're going from 15% of the blend being peated or smoky to 35% of it being peated or smoky. The significant thing here is this is actually a single malt. So it's 5 different casks brought together, and what it does is in these two, the smoke is on the outside. You can taste it on the outside. Here, when you blend single malt barrels together, it becomes a lot more integrated. So it will smell smokier, but it will taste less smoky, and it'll be a little bit more elegant when you kind of taste it. So it's not so obvious. So again, trying to just play with a different idea. And this is the flavor, for me, of Christmas in Donegal. So it's before midnight mass. We used to have a little snifter before we went out to mass. And so this is the flavor of that sort of cinnamon, nutmeg, Christmas spices, and sort of has that cozy, warm, fuzzy feeling that you get. Sorry? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it has all of those kind of aromas to it.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
What does it take to be an original?
Cam knows something about that. So does Chi-Chi, Charlie, and you get it. In 1955, we stepped onto the scene. Now a new generation of pros are wearing the most iconic styles in the game. The fit, the feel, the look. It's all an expression of you. Original Penguin. Here for the good times.
Innovation has been at the heart of every Super Stroke grip we've ever created, cementing our status as the #1 putting grip on tour. Now the best just got better. Introducing Super Stroke Synergy, our most advanced putting grips ever, for unmatched confidence to quiet your hands and your mind. Find the perfect grip for your game at superstrokeusa.com.
At PXG, we believe you get more out of your golf clubs when you're custom fitted. This ensures that every PXG club in your bag is completely dialed in to deliver maximum performance for your swing. Golfers of every skill level should go through this process, and PXG's judgment-free fittings will make sure you're completely comfortable and satisfied. Book your fitting and see what we can do for your game. PXG, you've never played like this before, period.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
Jason Kelly is the course manager here at Strandhill, and we are sitting just above the first tee. Absolutely gorgeous. How is it possible to become desensitized to this beauty after all the years that you've been here, or do you come here every day and look around and go, oh my gosh?
Yeah, good to see you anyways, Matt. Thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
Yeah, you do get pretty much desensitized. I'm here over 21 years at this, so this is my office every day. So everybody does comment on the fact that the scenery is unique here. You've got sea on pretty much 3 sides of the course here, and then scenic mountaintop with Knocknarea on the other side, on the southern side. So pretty much panoramic views here, and it can be quite challenging too, this course, because you're so exposed with the sea on pretty much all fronts. The wind changes direction quite often. So like on the first tee here alone, you've got the wind with you. So you could be playing an iron off the tee today. Come back in the afternoon, you could be hitting the driver.
Wow.
You know, that's the unique thing about Strandhill here and links courses in general, as you guys know.
And 21 years, you look too young to have been here 21 years, but the 21 years that you have been here, how much have you seen this links golf course change?
A lot. It has changed quite a lot. Beforehand, it was pretty much run by the members, and in fairness, they did a good job at the time, but we needed to bring it on to the next level. So we needed to kind of polish it, refine it. It was always known as the hidden gem in Connacht. And in fairness, it has been found out. Everybody kind of is starting to find out about it. So in 2016, we hired golf course architect McIntosh Golf, Ali McIntosh, and I liked his perspective on this course because he wanted to keep it as natural as possible. So what beforehand we'd a lot of pot bunkers that were misplaced. They weren't in the right positions. So he wanted to bring more strategy into the game. So we said we want to naturalize the course and have it more in keeping with the natural environment. So we started off doing a bunker renovation program. We finished that about 2 years ago. And now we're starting to do other projects. Like last year we did the first tee complex. We're refining all the other tee boxes to take away the unnatural look to them and making them more refined. Other little subtle jobs are continuing going on around the course, like changes to tee surrounds, green surrounds, just general refinement of the place.
Perfect time of day just to sit here and look at the links, Jerry, right?
Honest to God, when you look out there and you just wonder what's over that hill. It's amazing.
Thank you, Katie.
Thanks, Katie. Cheers.
Was there a time when you looked out over those hills and you kind of shake your head now in retrospect and say, I can't believe what we built?
Well, I can tell you, I have to pinch myself every day here. When I came in 1999, it was struggling a bit. I couldn't understand why it struggled because it was such a fantastic golf course. I was shocked when I saw how good it was and how bad it was doing, really. When you sit here and you look, you just think, what's over the hill over there? And believe you me, when you see it today, and you've seen it in the past, when you go over there, it's a golfing heaven. It's just so spiritual out there. I think you lose yourself in the place and golf becomes incidental almost on the way around. Doesn't matter whether you're playing good, bad, or indifferent. You're just in awe of the size of the dunes, the way they just peak on top of you almost as you go along. It's Eddie Hackett described it as God's golf course when he came here. All he had to do was tweak it, and I think he was right, because he wouldn't let anything happen to the golf course as it stood at that particular time. There was no machinery brought in. It's all spades and shovels. They took 14 people off the labour exchange. That's why it took 10 years to build. He didn't want to destroy the natural terrain that was out there. And literally he tweaked it on the back of a newspaper. And you can see that with this photograph here behind me. There was no effort put into it. He just made sure that things stayed as they were. So the greens are on natural shelves. The tee boxes are on natural shelves. We're not pristine, we're raw and we're rugged, but we're different than everybody else. But people come to me here and they say, Jerry, do me a favour, don't touch that golf course. Leave it as it is. Don't make it the magic carpet type of golf course.
Right. What do you hope that the experience will be for people that come here?
Really, Matt, we want people to feel like they're coming home. We want them to, when they roll up on the estate through the gates and see the house appear behind the trees as they're driving up and pulling up in front of the house here, to feel like they've arrived at their destination at home, and they're going to relax, rejuvenate, and find some peace here.
How much, when you have a place as historically significant as this one, is the role as much about being a curator for this gem for future generations?
We definitely think about it, Matt. The original house is about to turn 150 years old. It was originally built in 1876, so we're coming up on a milestone for us. And a lot of the effort that we do is in preserving this structure for the future. Every winter, actually, we shut down for a bit to just make sure that the place is looking tip-top shape for the high season every summer. And the estate grounds, 100 acres of woodland estates, are part of the original plot that was here from the first family, the Knox family that built the house. And maintaining those grounds are part of that vision as well.
How much are those amenities, activities, other fun things to do a part of your offering?
A huge part. So on site, we have an aviary and a falconry where we have falcons, hawks, owls, and a full-time falconer who takes care of them. And that's part of the country pursuits sporting tradition of the property. It's something that the owners have wanted to continue on offering. And then we also have 2 miles of fishery. So double bank fishing on the River Moy. It's a world-class salmon fishing river, and we can take guests down onto the river. First-timers, experts, people come from all over the world to experience that.
I am outside the Mount Falcon estate in all its glory. This is incredible, and I'm with Daniel and Anna, and you are the head falconer. I think that's the correct terminology.
Yeah, that's the correct term, 100%.
I have no idea what that means. Explain it to me.
There's 3 falconers here who work at the hotel. So I'm the head one, and then there's Anna and Olivia, the 2 falconers who work under me. We all work together to look after these beautiful birds that we have. So this guy is called Phantom. Phantom is a peregrine falcon. He's about 15 years old. I'd be hoping he'd live until he's around 20, 25 years old. And then on the other side, we have little Ashley. And Ashley is a little barn owl. She's about 6 years old. I'd be hoping she'd live until she's around 10 to 15, basically.
And you guys have an aviary here. How many birds do you have on the property?
So here in total, we have 8 birds. We have 1 peregrine falcon. He's our little mascot of the hotel. We have 2 little barn owls. Then we have a couple of the others. We have 2 Harris hawks. They're American birds. They're the only ones who work in packs. They're the ones we mainly fly for guests when they come to the hotel. And then the other ones we have are 3 big owls. So we have a Eurasian eagle owl, a snowy owl, and a great grey.
So where I'm standing right now is the green complex at the par 4 13th here at Enniscrone. And I would have to say this is probably the best green complex I've ever seen, as defined by naturally laying into the topography. This is exactly as God made it to begin with. And Hackett, his original green, was way up there on the dunes. They settled on this space and cut it inside of all of these beautiful dunes. You can see some of them surrounding me. They get even larger behind where the camera is set up. And that's very much the sense that I've had here at Enniscrone, as if this whole place is a massive canvas. Every direction you look is like a beautiful painting, and you feel it as you're playing. For us, this is our last course in the northwest of Ireland for this tour, and I can't think of a better period at the end of the sentence, because this is just about natural beauty.
So none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for John McLaughlin and North and West Coast Links. So another chapter, my friend, comes to a close in this trip. It was a good one.
It was a really good one, and we're so happy that you've been here for the last 2 weeks. What a great spell of weather we've had. What a great bit of fun we've had with all your motley crew. I think they've really enjoyed it, and I guess you've had a chance to experience the golf courses, but the other stuff that we do, and you've seen so many other things, and you've shown it, and you've talked, and you've smelled, and you've listened to the music, and had great food. And that's what we do, and You know, we're here and we've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's been a joy. To the stuff that John was touching on there. What happens with these trips is you end up becoming a family from that week that carries on. You know, I call it like holiday cards amongst the travelers, because these people that come from all over the country, in some cases all over North America or all over the world as well, will end up contacting each other as they're traveling. Hey, I'll be in your area in this state and let's get together. So it becomes roots that are much deeper than just the experience of this week, is what I was getting at with all of that. And we thank you guys for that. And from what I'm hearing, Ireland right now is kind of booming, that you guys are already booking out 2026 and beyond.
Yeah, it's very busy for next year already, so that's fantastic. I think with the Open coming into Portrush this year again, that's driving a lot of business as well. And you know, there's so many other things. Ryder Cup in 27. So Ireland is on the up, thank God, and we look forward to welcoming as many of you guys as possible next year and the year after.
North and westcoastlinks.com is their website. So if you want to have the same itinerary that we had, or a similar one that suits you, you certainly can. John, thanks for everything.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for being here.
It was a pleasure. And thank you to all of you for being along for the ride. It has been a great couple of weeks. It has been an absolute pleasure. And we say goodbye then from Ireland until we are together again. Be well and goodbye for now.